I have a question for you, my beloved audience. Do you wonder whose side the American left is on? If you look around, the Socialist Democrat Party is eager to punish our fellow citizens who merely disagree with them. But they seem uninterested in punishing enemies of America and our way of life. Whose side are they on? We take off the gloves in tonight's preamble. There should be no reason why big tech should censor this first observation. We will be talking about the China virus, but not about treatment or vaccines or off-label use of medications. In fact, the only reason why Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Google would censor this preamble is if they wish to protect the most inhuman, racist slavers in the world. That would be communist China. Now, where I recognize the left-wing management at these American companies support and covet the values of the CCP, our analysis, as far as I know, doesn't violate any of their stated restrictions on content. When Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, 2,335 Americans died. Nobody thought, not even for a second, that we wouldn't seek out and make those responsible for the attack pay for what they had done. On September the 11th, 2001, radicalized Islamic fundamentalist terrorists killed 2,977 people on American soil. No credible person suggested that we shouldn't hunt down and hold the attackers responsible. The China virus, a virus that likely escaped containment out of a lab in Wuhan, China, and according to military officials, was allowed to spread out of China by direct orders from the CCP, has allegedly killed over 864,190 people in America and counting. Yet, in the year 2022, the Socialist Democrat Party is 100% disinterested in pursuing and punishing China's communist government for their likely crimes against planet Earth. In fact, the Socialist Democrats don't seem to care that China's government is racist against blacks, enslaves over 3 million Uyghur Muslims, and is responsible for intellectual property theft and currency manipulation that has done tremendous and continued economic damage to our people. The question is, why? Why is our government under Joe Biden and his Socialist Party more interested in punishing 725 trespassers, Americans, who killed no one on January 6th, while they do nothing to hold a Communist Party accountable for the deaths of approaching 850,000 Americans? Who are these Socialist Democrats protecting? Despite mounting evidence like an NIH admission of guilt, the highest paid person in the federal government, His Eminence, Dr. Fauci, maintains that our government has not funded, nor did he authorize American taxpayer dollars be used to conduct gain-of-function research on the coronavirus in bats in Wuhan. For those of you who have been educated in the failed government-run school system, gain-of-function research, among other things, teaches animal viruses to infect humans. In recent days, more evidence has come to light that Dr. Fauci did, in fact, greenlight dangerous gain-of-function research in communist China after the practice was banned here in the United States. The new evidence was found in DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It's a military agency. The documents were well hidden, which led administrators at DARPA to reportedly question, why were they hidden? The documents had no classified designation, so they shouldn't have been buried as they were. Senator Roger Marshall is a medical doctor. He questioned Dr. Fauci on this yesterday.
EcoHealth Alliance proposed DARPA in 2018, seeking funding to conduct gain-of-function research on bat-borne coronaviruses. This proposal, named Project Diffuse, D-E-F-U-S-E, was rejected by DARPA because the project didn't address the current research's potential to violate the gain-of-function moratorium. The same proposal rejected by DARPA for gain-of-function potential was not rejected but by NIAID under your leadership.
Once again, Fauci denied that he and the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases funded the proposal that DARPA rejected. Fauci also refused to commit to releasing all documents unredacted pertaining to the senator's question there. After the senator grew increasingly frustrated with Fauci, who classified attempts to get at the truth as a personal attack on me, His Eminence lost his cool. Fauci called Senator Marshall a name and then took the Lord's name in vain.
You are
reviewing it.
totally incorrect.
Well, we
Senator
look forward to
Marshall,
reviewing it.
Senator Marshall, Dr. Fauci has answered you. It is public information, and he's happy to give it to you if you would ask. Senator Moran.
What a moron. Jesus Christ.
Many people, including this host, don't believe Dr. Fauci. We suspect that he did supply funding to our communist enemies. Being communists, you know, they're thieves. They don't produce anything of their own. They steal from others, as China has been doing for decades. And Fauci has been working with our enemies for some time now. Here he is last year describing his trust and faith in communist scientists who likely ultimately unleashed the China virus pandemic on our world.
You gave them money and you said, don't do gain-of-function research.
Correct.
And they said, we won't.
Correct.
And you have no way of knowing whether they did or not, except you trust them. Is that right?
Well, we generally always trust the grantee to do what they say, and you look at the results.
Have you ever had a grantee lie to you?
I cannot guarantee that a grantee has not lied to us because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Fauci, the highest paid person in government, appears to lack something most people call common sense. Now, as you heard, he intuitively trusts Chinese communist scientists. The same government that enslaves 3 million people, the same government that is racist against blacks, the same government that is responsible for the inhuman treatment of their own people. Fauci trusts them. Now, by that logic, Fauci must get his babysitters from the National Child Abuse Database. You know, I can hear his reasoning now. After the child abuser betrays a trust, just like the communists do. Well, they promised they wouldn't hurt my child, so I trusted them. My friends, this gets much worse.
So you don't think the Chinese would lie to you?
Well, when you say the Chinese are a rather broad group. I know the scientists that we've dealt with have been trustworthy.
Mm-hmm. You think all the scientists have told the truth in terms of the origin of the Wuhan virus and not been influenced by the Communist Party of China, do you?
I don't have enough insight into the Communist Party in China to know the interactions between them and the scientists, sir.
That's right, folks. The highest paid person in government has never apparently opened a history book or a newspaper or read an article about the most untrustworthy, barbaric, thieving, racist slavers that exists on planet Earth today. The man who America has been forced to trust for our medical decisions admits he doesn't know how totalitarian communism and their regimes work. But he's going to give them your money anyway. The unleashing of the China virus has cost the United States and the world millions of lives, trillions in treasure, and has resulted in the loss of freedom for millions, some right here at home in America. The Socialist Democrat Party, out of affinity and love, I suppose, shows no interest in holding the Communist Party of China accountable for what it has done to all of us, even their own constituents. What say you, Republicans? Are you interested in holding China accountable? Or is there a third party out there that puts America first that I can support?